Get ready to bark because an incredible plot twist just surfaced regarding our starting lineup. The front office is playing a massive game of chess, and the suspense is driving every single fan in the land completely crazy. A crucial test is officially set to happen during the upcoming preseason games to resolve this massive controversy once and for all. Stop whatever you are doing right now and smash that like button. You must subscribe to our channel today to join the best community in football. You cannot afford to miss out on this earth-shattering roster update. Here's the bombshell hitting the Browns faithful as training camp gets into full swing. Head coach Todd Monken still doesn't have a Week 1 starting quarterback. The competition is squarely between veteran Deshaun Watson and second-year phenom Shedeur Sanders, with Dylan Gabriel a distant third. Watson, of course, arrived in Cleveland on a massive $230 million deal, intended to be the cornerstone of our franchise's future. But he's now in the final year of that contract and facing a significant challenge from Sanders, still finding his NFL footing. Browns fans remember last year's unsettling uncertainty under center, so this continued open competition is stirring uneasy feelings throughout the fan base. Reporter Cameron Wolfe revealed Monken's specific plan. Watson and Sanders will each start one of the first 2 preseason games, with the practice week prior determining who plays when. The third preseason game might offer more definitive clues, but Monken isn't committing to a firm timeline, indicating a final decision could stretch right up to the season opener. Think about it this way. For a first-time head coach, Monken's patience is admirable, relying on game scenarios. However, the fact that no one, especially Watson, has clearly separated themselves for the most important position in sports is deeply concerning. It's a genuine worry for us as fans that the starting job for our veteran quarterback on the last year of his monumental deal isn't solidified against a second-year player. This whole situation begs the question, what does it truly say about Deshaun Watson's long-term future with our team when he can't outright win the job with clear dominance against a second-year player? The most surprising development from training camp is undoubtedly head coach Todd Monken's ongoing struggle to name a definitive starting quarterback, especially considering Deshaun Watson is entering the final year of his massive $230 million contract. This contentious situation didn't materialize overnight. It's the culmination of Watson's inability to consistently perform at the level expected of such a significant financial commitment, allowing second-year signal caller Shedeur Sanders to emerge as a legitimate contender. Adding to the intrigue, Monken, according to reporter Cameron Wolfe, will strategically start Watson and Sanders in each of the first 2 preseason games, with the crucial decision on who starts which game and ultimately the regular season, hinging on their performance in game scenarios and the week of practice in between. This painstaking evaluation process is reminiscent of the unresolved quarterback instability that plagued this team last year when a clear leader also failed to emerge. For us as Cleveland Browns fans, this prolonged uncertainty feels like a recurring nightmare, echoing the many seasons where a true franchise quarterback remained elusive. What makes this even bigger is the complex internal calculus facing Jimmy Haslam's front office and Monken himself. They must balance the enormous financial stake in Watson with the potential of Sanders, recognizing that failure to identify a clear QB1 now could derail the season before it truly begins. Monken's admirable patience as a first-time head coach, while valuing on-field performance, simultaneously exposes the team's failure to have a dominant signal caller despite significant investments. The pressure on this decision is immense, and it's a situation no team wants heading into a critical season. Now that we've laid out the details of Coach Monken's plan, let's really dig into what this means for our Cleveland Browns right now. This isn't merely a training camp battle. It's a profound statement about the readiness and future of our entire offense. And it carries significant implications beyond just who takes the first snap. The immediate impact on our depth chart is clear. The quarterback position remains unsettled, which trickles down to practice reps and offensive game planning. Deshaun Watson in the final year of his $230 million deal. Not seizing the starting job from a second-year player in Shedeur Sanders is a huge concern, both for on-field production and the long-term salary cap outlook. If Watson isn't the clear leader, his massive contract becomes a difficult hurdle for future roster construction. This ongoing uncertainty directly affects our upcoming games and matchups. A delayed decision means less time for the Week 1 starter to fully gel with the first-team offense, potentially leading to choppy play when the games truly count. We need a clear leader commanding the huddle, not two players splitting reps late into camp. And I cannot stress this enough. The Browns cannot afford to enter the season with questions at the most critical position. This situation inherently shifts the team's standing, especially against our formidable AFC North Division rivals like the Pittsburgh Steelers or Cincinnati Bengals. While Monken's patience is admirable, a prolonged quarterback competition, as reporter Cameron Wolfe suggested, indicates no one has separated themselves, which could hurt our playoff chances right out of the gate. We need a definitive leader to contend for a Super Bowl. The strongest argument for head coach Todd Monken's methodical approach to selecting our Week 1 starting quarterback is his commitment to real game evaluation. As Cameron Wolfe reported and Daniel Oyefusi shared, Monken will start Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders in the first two preseason games, allowing both to showcase their abilities under actual pressure, with practice determining who plays first. This patient strategy ensures the chosen signal caller performs when it counts, vital for this team's success. On the flip side, the glaring risk is that we're this close to the season and no one has clearly emerged as a true QB1. This lack of separation, with Dylan Gabriel still earning praise, is unsettling and suggests a significant problem. For Watson, on the final year of his $230 million deal, still battling a second-year player like Sanders is a stark red flag about his consistency and ability to command the position. NFL analysts and media across the league are undoubtedly buzzing about this unusual situation, with many questioning the depth of our quarterback room if both Watson and Sanders haven't seized clear control by now. Some are likely wondering if this reflects more on Watson's performance or Sanders' surprising development. Here's what people are missing. While Monken's patience is admirable for a first-time coach, the very need to rely so heavily on preseason games to decide our starter indicates a fundamental concern about what he's truly seeing daily in practice. My honest take here is that this prolonged competition isn't just about finding the best fit for Week 1, but rather a worrying sign that we might have 4 quarterbacks on the roster, but still no true long-term solution at the most critical position in sports. So when you put the news about Coach Monken's deliberate quarterback plan together with what it means going forward, here's the picture that emerges for our Cleveland Browns. This situation represents a critical pivot point for our franchise, dictating our direction for not just this season, but for the next several years. The fact that Deshaun Watson, in the final year of his $230 million deal, has not definitively seized the starting role from a second-year quarterback like Shedeur Sanders is deeply concerning. If Monken ultimately names Sanders the starter, it signals a seismic shift for our team, effectively conceding that the massive investment in Watson has not paid off as expected. Conversely, if Watson barely wins the job, the immense pressure and questions surrounding his performance will only intensify. This lingering, no true QB1 problem, eerily similar to last year's scenario, highlights a fundamental instability at the most vital position, which is simply unsustainable for a team with playoff aspirations. As Cleveland Browns fans, we should approach this season with a mix of cautious hope and understandable anxiety. Hope because Coach Monken is relying on actual game performance, as Cameron Wolfe reported, to make his decision, which is a fair and transparent approach. Anxiety because this critical decision is still undecided so close to Week 1, and our highest paid player has not separated himself